Thanks for joining me, Pisces. It's Dadhichi here from astrology.com.au with your February 2016, I guess you'd call it a snapshot of what's happening astrologically. And I hope this can be of some help to you. It's a pretty significant month this month, particularly because the sun will move to your sun sign. That happens around the 19th, after being in that low-key area of the horoscope for the month, the 12th house in Aquarius. We also see that there's going to be a new moon very early in the month, around the 9th, and that will take place in the sign of Aquarius, that 12th house again. So there's some interesting spiritual vibrations taking place in this first part of the month. The new moon, of course, beckons you to reevaluate some of those spiritual practices that you've been pursuing throughout your life. Now, this is something that may occur as a result of your experience. And the one thing I say to a lot of people, clients, friends and family alike, is that you've got to question the validity of these spiritual practices against the backdrop of your practical life. I guess the litmus test is, how functional are you in the world? How capable are you of amalgamating these spiritual practices with the practical affairs of your life? If there's a disconnect between these two things, then you're off in cuckoo land, and you're not really translating some of these spiritual practices into what you need to do at life, in your life. I've had so many people come to me and say, "Oh, Dadhichi, I really want to do my spiritual meditation and my practices, but I just don't have time." And I said, well, if you don't have time, then you've completely got it back to front, because the life you are living should be the spirituality. That should be the expression of your spirituality. There are some people who live in monasteries, and I'm not saying you mustn't meditate a little bit every day, but I'm saying that that is more for the neophyte. The experienced and the mature spiritual savant will in fact be capable of spiritualizing any and every action, any and every thought, any and every word, and that is through the process of awareness. And I think that's what this new moon is going to be saying to you primarily. We see that your sense of self is changing. You've got that because of Saturn transiting your 10th house, the uppermost part of your horoscope, over these past few months, quite a few months actually, and it will remain there for a while. And this can touch all areas of your life, not just your career, which this 10th house of your horoscope does primarily signify that career area. But we see, for example, some of these other spiritualizing planets, such as Pluto in your 11th house, the conjunction of Venus that will take place there around the 6th or 7th, intensifying your insights, maybe demolishing some of your long-cherished views on people. Even some of your mentors or heroes, if I could use that term, may start to be seen in a very, very different light. So these planetary transits are important. We see also Mercury moving to your 12th house. That will take place on the 14th. We see Venus moving into that place on the 17th. So, we've got the sun there, you've got your new moon there. So this 12th house, which is the natural house of Pisces, seems to be really pushing you to take a look at these viewpoints, these philosophies, and whether or not they're working for you. Later in the month we see a full moon in the 7th house of your horoscope, very near Jupiter, another one of your ruling planets, and the North Node karmic point. And so these very important changes that we see here are also going to be manifest in that area directly of one-on-one relationships. There are a lot of other aspects for me. I'm just giving you the in brevity, the ones that I see and intuitively feel are going to be representing the key points for the month. We see, for example, Mars in the 9th house now. It's entrenched there. It forms a sextile to Pluto on the 3rd. It forms a trine to the Sun. Well, it's going to be forming a trine to the Sun throughout the month, but particularly on the 10th, I'm getting a feeling that that'll be a strong aspect, and then a very favourable aspect to Jupiter on the 14th. So these are all good aspects that give you the drive and the proper intention to achieve what it is you want to achieve throughout this cycle. Jupiter is still moving against the current of the sun sign for many of you born under the sign of Pisces, being in that 7th house. It gives you that strong desire for a relationship, but then you see all this 12th house stuff which is pulling you away from the world. The secret there, as I said, is to really, really bring these two seemingly and diametrically opposed parts of your life, the practical and the spiritual, and just realizing that they're one and the same thing. The full moon in the 7th house, I think, moon ruling your 5th house of future affairs, love affairs, brings with it some really nice emotional contact with your partner. That's going to move into the conjunction of Jupiter as well, bringing with it a wealth of feelings. So I see that as a really nice aspect for you, and heralds an opening out, not just of yourself, but maybe your partner too. You're having Virgo on the 7th house shows that for some of you, the partnerships may be beset with having someone in your life who's more intellectually inclined than yourself. You come from the spiritual, emotional side, being a water sign. So having the mercurial side, the intellectual, analytical Virgo on the 7th house, shows that you may be working through that as a karmic issue. But this full moon is nice. And later in the month, I think you're going to start to see a softening of your partner. That can even be your business partners who may be a bit too analytical and want to connect with you on that heart level. So that's a nice sort of aspect for the end of the month. We'll continue this next month, the continuing saga of Sun Sign Pisces. In the meantime, do join me at astrology.com.au for the more detailed analysis of the month, the full year in focus there, and personal readings if you wish with myself or a lot of the other psychics that we're affiliated with. Look forward to your company next month. Take care. Good luck. Bye-bye.